Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to my Blu-ray and DVD library. A few more DVDs this time, but we're now on to BFI label, the British Film Institute, which has put out tons and tons of really good stuff. I don't even have, I haven't even scratched the surface of the material of good material that they put out. But I'll show you what I have. And this isn't all of their silence. I'm going to start with the silent films again, and I'll be doing this with each label as long as there are silence for those labels. There's a few that aren't, that don't have silence, so we'll do that. But we'll start out with the DVDs first. This is, I believe, in Blu-ray, but I'm happy enough to have this on DVD. It's Make More Noise, Suffragettes, and Silent Film. And it's as usual, they do have, a lot of times, they have nice booklets and supplementary material on there. I don't have everything that's silent. There's still several things I do need to pick up, and some of them are out of print, sadly. But this is, yeah, it's literally what it says. It's suffragettes. It's short films. I think, well, some of them even says here 14 seconds. So 13 seconds. So it's very short material, but it's quite interesting material. And I don't think there's any commentary with this, but there's essays in the booklet by Brian E. Dixon, Lillian Henley, who did the music, and Yasmin Tila Brown. And it's overall quite interesting to watch. We already saw this probably in Blu-ray from the Eclipse series from Criterion Collection, but here's the BFI one, the student comedies of Yashiro Ozu. And this does have a booklet, so this has some extras and essays on it, where the Eclipse edition of Criterion Collection does not. And this, like the Suffragette one, it's more sort of documentary or just, camera setup and showing, and this is quite interesting. This, I think this is coming out maybe now in Blu-ray, and this I will get in Blu-ray. If it does, it's Ernest Shackleton's, it says Glorious Epic of the Antarctic, and it's south. And it was done in 1919. There's very little extra material with this, just a little essay in here. So I'm hoping there'll be more material on the Blu-ray. And another collection of shorts, but early cinema, primitives and pioneers. It's all material that's in the BFI National Archive, Film and Television Archive. It's music done by Neil Brand, Stephen Horn, and John Sweeney, and it was done at the National Film Theatre in London. They're all excellent accompaniments to silent film, and I've seen them all doing various projects. And yeah, there's 2 discs. There's not much else on here. There's a bit of a listing of the items in behind there, but it's like a collection of 60 films from pre-1910 period. It's got Pathé material, Edwin S. Porter's The Great Train Robbery, a whole bunch of stuff. That is on a lot of other material, but it was nice to have it on the BFI edition here. Here's something that's another sort of like a travelogue, but it's not all silent. A couple of these are not all silent material. This is around China with a movie camera, a journey from Beijing to Shanghai, 1900 to 1948. Music by Ruth Chan. It's quite interesting. I love these things because obviously they're capturing a world that just no longer exists. And it's for like I say 1910. It's called Modern China. Homework and Street Scenes in China, 1907, 7 minutes. They're short films, but they're still quite interesting. And again, there's some essays, short material accompanying it. And here's another one that at some point, I can't remember when the discovery was, but they discovered like milk cans full of material, Mitchell and Kenyon, who went around the UK Edwardian period and filmed people and then charged them to come in to see this. And the BFI has put out, like there was a documentary that's on it, a book that was made about the material as well. There's a documentary about them. I still have a couple things, but this one was becoming out of print, I think, and so I snapped it up. I'm not sure if there's an Ireland, and I forget another one. And this has commentary on it, and this is Edwardian sports. I'm not a huge fan of sports, as people who watch the show will probably be aware, but when it comes to silent, it's interesting. And again, this has a booklet with essays in it, so that's very good. I'd like to make sure I get all the rest of them eventually as well, because I used to have it all, but I no longer. And this is really nice. This is the DVD set. There is a Blu-ray set, I think, but it's quite expensive. And this was like discounted really, really cheap. So I thought, yeah, I'll get it in DVD. I'm happy to get it in DVD. Like, I think I paid like under £10 for this, and it's like £30 or £40 for the Blu-ray. So yeah, there was no contest there. And it's literally what it says: Pioneers of African American Cinema. And it does go up to sound, I believe. Even up to 1978. So, but the earlier ones are silent. And the booklet is they made one size fits all, and this was for the Blu-ray. And it's quite substantial. It's about 70 pages long, and I haven't watched it all yet, but I couldn't pass it up. It might have been early last year, early 2021, when I saw it so cheap. I'm not sure. Here's another one that's sort of similar to the China one in a sense, because it's Wonderful London, and it's got silent material as well as the sound material, just sort of showing what London was like. And I love these, and there's quite a pretty good booklet with that as well. I don't think this has ever come out in Blu-ray. The BFI Archives has so much material that they could just pump this stuff out daily. And here's a very, very interesting film. This is from 1934, was I mentioned before, where China and other places had in Japan were making silent films up in the 30s. This is 1934, The Goddess, and I don't think it's been done in Blu-ray yet. It's a restoration by the China Film Archive, film by Wu Yongyang, I think. Not pronouncing it correctly, but and the score by Zhu Yi. And I remember seeing this a long time ago, but when again I didn't realize the BFI put it out. So when I did see it, and at a very, very reasonable price, under £5, I think, I had to snap it up. Again, I don't think this has been out in Blu-ray yet. It's the Chaplain, the Keystone shorts. It's all of them that came out. They came out here in with BFI and Flicker Alley in the U.S., which is a very, very good label for silent film. I sadly no longer have most of the material that they put out, but they put out really high quality DVDs, and a lot of them are out of print now, and they're doing Blu-rays now. But this was the British version with a very substantial book. There's 4 DVDs, and it's it is a booklet. It is stapled, but it's like 60 pages long. And it's very I'm a big Chaplain fan, so it's very nice to see this material. So essentially I have everything that Chaplain did except all the outtakes. There are we'll get to the documentary at some point that Kevin Bronlow made, but there's like there was a whole raft of outtakes, and that we were when I did my book to film with Night of the Hunter. And I talked about 8 hours of outtakes, and I was, would love to have seen that. There are hundreds of hours of the Chaplain material. And again, if that was all on DVD or Blu-ray, especially with some commentary telling what you're looking at and the changes and stuff like that, I would sit there and watch it. Regardless of 500 hours, I would eventually get through it. That's how much I like. So now we'll move, though, onto the Blu-rays, and here's an interesting film. It's like Minute Bodies. It's sort of a scientific film, but it's showing microscope things, insects and everything, and it's quite interesting. And it's got a big booklet in too, and it's 2 Blu-rays. So that I was very, very pleased to get a hold of. And here's A Man with the Movie Camera, a film by Vertov, Zega Vertov, music by Michael Nyman. There's many versions of this out here. Different labels have put this out, but this is a fabulous, Soviet montage and film, just sort of showing people. It's just, it's sort of it does tell a sort of narrative, poetic story, but it's basically just, a man setting up a movie camera and taking pictures of everyone. But not directly in a documentary sense. And this was done, as I said, it's Soviet, 1929. And here's early women filmmakers. It was the African American one. Yeah, this is the Blu-ray, but it's 1911 to 1940, so it does have silent in it, but also sound. And the booklet is not as substantial as it should be. It's a bit small, but it features restored films by Mabel Normand, who was Chaplin's did work with Chaplin. Yeah, I believe she did. Alice Guy Blanche and Louis Weber, and many others. So it's quite good. I've only dipped into it, to be honest, but some interesting films in there. And here we go. This is sort of one of the biggie silent films, Russian Soviet silent films, Battleship Potemkin by Sergei Eisenstein. Or Eisenstein? Eisenstein? Eisenstein. I always said Eisenstein. And also it has Drifters, a film by John Grierson, which I don't think is a silent, because I haven't watched this version yet. It's too small of print here for me to see. But 1925 was Battleship Potemkin. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. It's got a nice booklet anyway with this, and again, there's been various restorations and other labels put out, Battleship Potemkin, and a lot of crappy ones as well. I've mentioned this a number of times with regards to other films with Billy Wilder and so forth. This is People on Sunday. It's a fabulous film from Weimar, Germany. And Billy Wilder worked on it. Robert Siodmak, Kurt Siodmak, Edward G. Ulmer, who we saw, he came over to the U.S. and did a lot of film noirs. And William Dieterle was on it. Like, it's just everyone that was on here has done things like Robert Siodmak, Kurt Siodmak, writers and directors. Just a fabulous film. Just a fabulous film, and a nice booklet too. It's another one of these sort of almost documentary like, but it's more than that. It's just something that was happening in the silence era, that there were a lot of films like that, and they're very, most of them, or the ones I've seen, are neat and very interesting. I'm sure there were lots that were made that probably either don't survive anymore or still survive, but they aren't that good, like anything. But these ones were done well. The ones I'm showing here. And here's a film by Anthony Asquith, Underground. It's a fabulous silent film, and Anthony Asquith uh, uh, is fabulous as well. I should have, maybe, if I don't have it here, it's got shooting people, I think, or something like that. It's a sort of film within a film, and he ought to. Everything, all his silent films are just fabulous, and even his sound ones. He's sort of a forgotten in many ways filmmaker and silent filmmaker, and didn't really get a good rap in sort of early days of film criticism, in the sense of not so much early days, but sort of 50s, 60s, and 70s. But he's been rediscovered. This was made in 1928, I think it was. Let's see if we do have the other one here, and it might be still lurking up with the rest. Here's Shakespeare in silent film, and it's quite interesting. It's got very early stuff as well. 1910. So quite early, I think. Yeah, I thought it actually had some earlier than that, but there might be snippets of stuff. And again, a booklet that's there. This is a fabulous French director working in London. It might be the first appearance of Charles Laughton, I think. And he's sitting in the audience. It's called Piccadilly with Anna May Wong. It's if I'm thinking of the right film. It's as one of the pinnacles of British silent film. It is fabulous. And this is 1929. And again, it has a nice booklet with it. And here's some more that are kind of documentary likes. The Great Silence, the official record of Captain Scott's journey to the South Pole and the Epic of Everest. The official record of Mallory and Irvin's 1924 expedition. It's a box set. They are sold, I think, or were sold separately, but it was this was on sale, so I got it. And they each have booklets. Just fabulous films. And one of the best silent films that have been done. Sadly, the sticker took off a bit of this little card. I wasn't too pleased with that, and a little off there. Is Abel Gantz's Napoleon. It's the final restoration of this, or the most recent, I guess, by Kevin Braunlau. That's in the BFI. This is the special edition. It is a nice, substantial booklet with it, and it's a digipack. I've seen this twice live at the. When I say live, I mean with Carl Davis's score and him conducting at the Royal Festival Hall in London, and it's been fabulous. The final triptych scene is it's a marvelous film, and it's like, I forget how many hours it is. Well, it's 332 minutes, so you can figure that out, and that's not even its complete form. And it was Abel Gance had meant this to be one of 6 films, the sort of the biography of Napoleon, but sound came in and sort of destroyed that. And this is 1927. It is fabulous, and Kevin Braunlau has spent his life 50-60 years restoring it, and it's amazing. And here's a film that doesn't really need much introduction. It's an F.W. Murnau, Nosferatu. This is the BFI version, obviously. It's a 1922 film, and it's got the original tints. And as I say, I've got a few versions of this, because when I say versions, because there's little differences in the transfers and the tinting and so forth in some of them, depending on which one you have. And here's another one that's there's a few of these that are out there. We'll get to them eventually. The other ones, like World War One films that are battle ones, and this is the Battle of Coronel and Falkland Islands, the Great War at Sea, and that was done in 1927. And that's quite. It's a film by Walter Summers. Oh, this is really good. I saw this with musical accompaniment at a British film, the Silent Film Festival, a number of years ago, many years ago. It's Turksib. It's Turksib to Nightmail, but Turksib is fabulous, and it's 1929. Another Soviet film that is just fabulous, and the usual extras with it as well. And another one, we're going to American here now with excuse me, with Universal, The Phantom of the Opera, The Silence. It's obviously written, it's from Gaston Leroux's Phantom of the Opera, with Lon Chaney in it. It is a fabulous film. And this one's very interesting. I haven't watched this version yet, but I remember seeing this many years ago, and I was so surprised to see that it was actually out, especially on Blu-ray. It's Shiraz, A Romance of India. It is fabulous. It's 1928. It's a high definition transfer, restored, and there's other supplements on here that is just it's Franz Olsten's it's a sumptuous Indian silent film, imagining the sweeping story of the 17th century Princess Mumtaz Mahal and the subsequent construction of the Taj Mahal. It's just fabulous. And I can't wait to actually watch that one, because I'm sure it'll be a better restoration than what I saw. And here's two that are sort of go together. Charles Chaplain, the Mutual comedies, and the S&A comedies. S&A is kind of neat because they use the initials of the two people that started, S and A. So S&A, ESSANY. which was kind of interesting. And it's all the comedies restored on Blu-ray, and music by Carl Davis. It's kind of weird. It says, because I haven't watched this one yet, because with rare extra feature voiced by Peter Sellers. Okay, I didn't notice that before. I'm curious now to see what that is. But no, it's a fabulous film. The other one that I was thinking of, I don't see it here, but I'm sure it'll turn up eventually. But there's the silent films, or most of them, for BFI. It's not a complete catalog of their silent films, because there's still more I want to get. And then, like, you can't see it here, but it's the rest of them are 2 shelves above here. This is that's Indicator box sets and films. And then we'll go, after we're done the BFI, we'll go to the Indicator. And then I think the next one after that is American Kino. And then we'll just see where we'll go from there. But it'll be a few more weeks before I'm all finished, because there's a lot of material here to go through. And again, if anybody is interested in any of these films, want more information from me, either email me or put some comments in, or you can freely, obviously, look up material online. But I'm always interested to hear from other silent film aficionados, and ones that they've seen and what they thought of any of this material. Anyway, take care, BookTube. I will see you next time.